You can change your life within the next 3 to 6 months only if you do what I'll be sharing with you in this video. A lot of people start out their lives, start out doing something, and then they kind of get stuck doing those things forever. And it's not because they are happy doing whatever they're currently doing, or even that what they're doing is so rewarding that they can't leave it. It's just a very, very toxic relationship. And that's why people need to understand how to leave a certain place to move to the place where they want to be. And there's a process to making this happen. See, leaving where you currently are to the place where you want to be is a very, very difficult task. It involves a lot of mental work and it involves a lot of fast action, right? However, one thing I've noticed is changing your life takes just 3 to 6 months. I tell people I would never be poor in this life because it takes me just 3 to 6 months to change my life, and I can turn it into whatever I want it to become. And I'll give a very good example. So let's say today I work in marketing, right? So let's say today marketing goes out of relevance. Most likely it's never going to happen, right? But then I learned that building AI codes or something else is the new hot thing that can make me a lot of money and change my life. Now, how do I become this new person who is into AI and making lots of money from it? It is about following the system I want to share with you in this video. So I want you to stick till the very end so you don't miss out on any point. So the first thing is this: you need to learn to build up habits. So a lot of people struggle with building up habits. They can't do one thing for long. They struggle to keep at things, and that's why you see that they end up remaining in one spot, because after trying out a new thing for 1 or 2 days, they want very quick results. But of course, life doesn't work that way, and that's why I'm saying changing your life takes, let's say, somewhere between 90 to 180 days. That's pretty much 3 to 6 months, right? And it requires a lot of consistent building up of habits. And if you've read this book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, it discussed how to build up habits, right? And the best way to build up habits is start small and grow into it. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to learn how to become a coder, like I want to start coding. I would not suddenly start going into coding and coding 5 hours a day, because I'm going to get bored, I'll get confused a lot, and I'll end up giving up. So instead of that, what do? I break down my coding journey into chunks, right? So I could code for, let's say, 10 minutes a day, and then grow into coding for 15 minutes a day, and eventually grow into coding for 30 minutes a day, later on move on to 1 hour a day, and like that, and then you find out that you become a lot more consistent with the journey because you grew into it. You didn't just blow into it. And that's what I tell people: when you're looking to start something new, the major focus should be, how can I grow, not how can I blow. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is this: once you build up those habits, then you want to sit down and understand, what is this thing that I can do that I would enjoy and also be very rewarding for me? Because you would see a lot of people are stuck in careers they don't like. They're doing businesses they don't like, businesses that are not even profitable, just because, that's what I've been doing all this while. But because you've been doing it all this while doesn't mean you have to do it forever, right? You can always make that pivot. You can always make that switch and try out something new that would become a lot more rewarding for you. But if you don't identify that thing, it becomes a lot more difficult. And that's why I always say you want to make a soft switch. So let's say, for example, you have a career and you want to move into entrepreneurship. What the average person thinks of is, I'll quit my job and go and start a business. If you do that, you would most likely run back from the business back to the job market. But if I were to be you, what I would do instead is I'll take the next 3 to 6 months and build my business on the side. Because let's be honest, if you're building someone else's life, which is their business, then why can't you spend a few hours a day building yours as well? So pretty much early in the morning before you go to work, put out some time towards growing and starting out that business. Now, as the business begins to grow, the business begins to get some revenue, then you can now move on into trying out new things. And then as you're now growing into this old business, exploring new ideas, and the business can pay for your lifestyle. Now, when I say lifestyle, I don't mean anything luxurious. I mean being able to cater for your basic needs, your rent, your feeding, the basic needs of life. Once the business is able to cover this cost, right, then you can say, okay, I'm leaving this job for the business. And as a matter of fact, I always recommend that if you can, you should have what we call an emergency fund, because it kind of makes the transition process between the switch very easy. And this is not just about switching from a job to a business. It applies even if you're going from one particular career field to another career field. So let's say, for example, you are a medical doctor and you want to become a software engineer. If you try to fully combine medicine and computer engineering, you'll struggle, right? So now you need to start learning the computer engineering thing or anything new you've chosen gradually, and once you're more confident about it, it's easier for you to now say, okay, I want to take some time off, I have some money saved, and then go all in with this, and then it becomes a lot more easier for you to make a lot of progress doing that. Also, another thing that is quite crucial is prioritizing. So what a lot of people miss out on when they're trying to change their lives is not prioritizing the right things. So they think, oh, I can do a lot of things. So I'm using switching into tech as my example because that's quite popular these days. So people come around and say, I want to switch to tech. And then they're trying to learn how to code. They're trying to learn how to do UI, UX. They're trying to learn a lot of things that are involved in the whole tech ecosystem. But what happens with that is you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. And when that happens, eventually you won't be able to achieve much success because there's not so much you can do with shallow level understanding of a lot of concepts. Rather, it's better that you take out your time and put in a lot of effort and delve into one part of that field that you've chosen to go into. Let's say, for example, you're going into marketing. There's no point. Marketing is huge. So why can't you pick Facebook advertising and then study, understand, and delve deep into Facebook advertising over the next 3 to 6 months, and then say, okay, now I'm good and ready to go into Facebook advertising. Then what is the next thing to do? This is where you getting the opportunity comes in. And as a matter of fact, see, one of the biggest words in marketing or in life is the word free. And that's why there's this popular concept of internship. It's as good as a free training, right? If you can, after you've learned this new skill or you've pivoted to this new career or you're trying to start this new business, you want to try to get some internship. It helps give you some hands-on experience without necessarily having to deal with the risk. So for example, if you had a job that was paying you a lot of money and they gave you a task and you mess it up, it becomes really difficult, right? Or you have a business that you've put a lot of capital into and you mess things up as well. The risk to reward ratio is so wide, and like it just doesn't make sense, right? That's why you want to start taking on like free things. And how do you do this? When you're done mastering a skill of the career you want to pivot into or the new field you want to try out, it is important that you now sit down, take out the time, and basically start reaching out to people that you can work with for free. Forget about the money. I know a lot of people prioritize the money, but the truth is the money would come once you are confident about the value you can add. So you want to sit down, master this thing, and then start offering it to people for free. And all you need is that one person that will take a bet on you. I know people reach out to maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people and they're like, oh, no one wants to take me on for free, right? But if you reach out to enough people, then you would stand the chance of getting someone that wants to take you on for free. And when you get that opportunity, you want to prove yourself beyond reasonable doubt. Now, once you're able to prove yourself beyond reasonable doubt, this person would either be willing to take you on, employ you, or recommend you to people who would need this service or like the skill that you're bringing to the table. And once a recommendation comes in, it opens massive doors. There is nothing you're going to say about yourself that people would believe as much as what other people say about you. So what other people say about you is a lot more important, and that's why you want to get this recommendation. So if you're looking to change your life over the next 3 to 6 months, it is not so difficult. It is mainly about building these habits and then moving gradually into that process of moving from where you are to the place where you want to be, but you want to do it slowly so you don't get overwhelmed and you don't get to the point where you feel like, oh man, can I do this? And you quit. You want to do it in such a way that it gives you all the leverage and gives you all the advantage that you want and helps you get to the point where you are able to make that pivot and actually begin to live the life that you really want to live and start getting the results that you really want to get. It could be about about money, it could be about flexibility, it could be about anything. But you wouldn't get those results without building up the habits and moving gradually and pivoting into this new field, new career, new business, the new thing you've decided to try. So if you enjoyed this video, then you should give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to also share this video, and I will see you in my next video where I'll be talking about the power of free and how free has changed my life. See you there. Bye.